Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric Johnson Jr. and for those who haven't seen my profile before, I try to do all things racing, so if you like that kind of content, go down and hit that subscribe button. Make sure to follow for more videos to come. But this video, I'm not sure if you guys can tell yet from the video or not, from the title, but I'm on my way, or actually now down here in Roseville, California. Spent yesterday traveling down, got to the hotel last night, and now this morning heading to the shop at BMR to help continue the process on working on our ARCA debut cars. So pretty surreal. I'm down here by myself. Last time I came down for the same thing just a few weeks ago. Had my buddy Chuck Jones with me, who will actually be crew chiefing me, you know, for those ARCA races, which is going to be a blast. Him and I have got to know each other really well over the last year, so it's been a fun one to kind of follow along with, and I'm really excited to have Chuck a part of it. But unfortunately, he couldn't join me on this trip. It was his wife's birthday. Happy birthday, Vicky! Hope everything went well. And anyways, yeah, I'm just gonna do a little solo down and back, and then we'll head back to Washington here shortly in a week. But bringing you guys along, I want to show you guys as much of this process as I can. So right now it's about 15 minutes till 8. We're gonna head to the shop. That's right when they open, all the guys show up. So just around the corner, so it'll just take me a few minutes to get there. And then once they're there, I'll try to do my best to show you guys what we're doing, and if not, I'll talk to you when we get back to the hotel tonight. But either way, I'm sure you guys are gonna see plenty of footage, so let's just get to it. Well, unfortunately, when we got down there, I wasn't really able to capture the audio clips I wanted, just due to that loud shop environment. As you can assume, there's a lot of different kind of machinery running and parts and so on, a lot of moving actions, so it just wasn't a great recording space for audio. But while I didn't get the audio, I was capturing video, and I wanted to maybe just do a voiceover to kind of show you guys what exactly you're seeing on screen. And first of all, just going back to our first trip, as you can see here, Chuck and I are working on this car. I can't help but get excited just looking at this thing. I mean, you were looking at the first car we are ever going to race in a NASCAR series, which is just mind-blowing to me. But we got down there, wanted to learn the history on what we were really getting into, and this car was an old Kevin Harvick Incorporated car, which is a really cool fun fact. But it had been sitting for a couple years, so you can see pulling apart the dry sump tank and cleaning it out in the parts cleaner. And we really went through everything. I mean, oil lines, fuel lines, brake lines, with the brake fluid being hydrophobic, pulling in water. We wanted to get rid of any chance of corrosion, look at all the O-rings and seals and so on. So a lot of bits and pieces to go through, but cleaning them out, as you can see, just basically doing what you do to a car that's been sitting for a while. But this car, for the first time, or I should say this chassis, had been mocked up with this new body. As you can see, it's pretty plain body. That's because it's brand new from 5-Star, just bolted together. But we had to pull the motor out of the way because they wanted to paint this thing, touch it up in a few spots from all the different mock-up weld spots, grind spots, and so on that would go on with getting this body fitted. So, climbed inside. I'm getting everything out from the previous driver. I forget the name of the previous driver that ran it when it was in ARCA after it was handing me down, but I do know it won a race in Sonoma, if I'm not mistaken, and that was right before it was acquired by BMR. But like I said, been sitting here for a little bit, so pulling it apart. I was the first driver, or will be, I should say, the first driver to actually pilot this car for BMR, as far as what I've been told, which is another fun little tidbit there. As you can see, pulling the ducting apart, I had to get this out of there just because we had finished mocking up the front bumper, all the ducting, and while I didn't build the ducting, you know, the BMR shop, they have a fantastic fab section that they do all their own fab work, and their guys just are so experienced and so skilled in that side of the in the automotive side. Their fab work blows me away, looking at all the custom work they can do on these things, and they produce so much in-house. It's really impressive to witness, and a skill that I really am envious of and hope to have someday. But you know, you can only figure it out by being down there, so that's kind of exactly what I'm doing here. It's just mocking up the body. You know, ARCA requires, even though late model guys would normally just pop over the nose of the fender, ARCA requires it to be nut and bolted, so just going through here, pre-drilling holes while everything's lined up before I pull the nose off so that we can get to it to paint. something I just found interesting, I want to show you guys. I guess I got too used to the late models, but I didn't realize these bodies can be lifted off in one piece. I mean, look, just like a funny car. Reminds me of our baby grands when we started out, for anyone that was around. Those were one-piece bodies that we could lift off. But anyways, we had to get the body out of the way. Evan, who is one of their new fabricators there at the shop, you know, that's something I really enjoyed, is getting to know all the guys there. Evan, doing their fabrication, was going to jump in, touch up anything he needed to on the bumpers, final welds on the different body tabs. And while I tried to help him out and help, you know, prep rocker panels and such, like you can see here, I just really I was going to get out of his way and let him do his thing, because I needed to take those bumpers and get them prepped for paint those, and then once it was time, get the chassis ready, which you guys will see here in just a little bit. I got the chance to actually paint it, which I thought, you know, I texted my dad, I said, you know, how many people can really say they've painted the first car they're going to race in NASCAR, which is just, I don't know. I guess that's the way I think, is these are just a lot of cool experiences. I don't think many people get to say they did. So I'm taking them all in, enjoying each and every one. But hopefully you guys enjoy some of this video here. I ended up rolling the car outside to go ahead and shoot some paint on it, but I realized after quickly being around the car that it wasn't actually powder coated originally. It was painted, and you can tell just by the texture and the feeling and so on. So I wasn't too worried about overspray. The paint we had really matched it well, so I was just trying to tape off or block off any of the big components that were still on the car, but wasn't too worried about overspray as far as on the chassis. Obviously trying to minimize anything around me and on the ground or the side of the building kind of stuff. But you can see here, started to shoot the paint, took a few coats, a little more than I expected, but eventually you'll see in the end, I thought it turned out pretty well. You know, I'm no kind of painter. I've maybe spray painted things less than 10 times in my life. So, you know, came out pretty well. Go ahead and check out these shots, but yeah, beautiful day for some painting, that's for sure. Forgive me if this sounds silly, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Looking over and seeing this blue Napa 16 car next to mine, it just leaves me speechless. I mean, I get literal chills, and I know that sounds funny, but growing up, watching this car from the stands, going on these trips with my dad and my grandmother, and you know, watching these things, let alone ever dreaming of getting close to them, or I mean, I never could imagine working on them, or let alone driving them. You know, it's just, this is so unreal to me no matter how many times I see it. It's so cool to be working on this thing. Being out in Phoenix, it was a little bit of a sandblaster, so we had to go ahead and peel all the vinyl off. I stopped what I was doing with my car while that paint dried and helped these guys peel everything off so they can get it over to paint, because they do actually paint that blue underneath. It is a beautiful shade. I don't know the actual name of it, but they do paint that blue on there, so you can see us peeling everything off, getting it all prepped.
definitely diving into the belly of this beast. I think this is going to excite a lot of those car guys out there, but these cars, they run a spec 358. You can see me here trying to manhandle this transmission into it. I'm no large guy and will never claim to be, so these things, trying to get it in there on my own, not gonna lie, had to call on John for a little bit of help. As you can see here, I wasn't able to do it without trying to hurt that snout, so working on getting this 4-speed on there so that we can get a motor back into this car, and going through safety wire and everything. Had to actually change out the transmission that was previously in the car, so that's why this is all not previously already done when we pulled that engine out. Working towards the big one here, getting this motor back into our car so we can actually start the rebuild process instead of taking things apart. I had to clean the motor up. I'd been sitting a little bit and was a little dirty as it was just coming off the track, so I had to clean it up. Also had to swap a new fuel pump in there, so you'll see me swapping this out. How exciting. I mean, you're seriously sitting here looking at the motor we're going to be running. I'm no motor guy, but it's still just cool to say I got to at least turn a wrench on this thing and be there to lay it into the car. It's just something about that whole experience I feel like is going to really make this special. Even more extremely if we have success out there, it's going to mean that much more to have these kind of hours put in. So getting this thing cleaned up, all sparkly. People know I like my stuff looking clean, and John was pretty on me to make sure I kept it that way too. So I was in agreement with him. You can see him there, making sure I hit all the check marks on the list that I need to do on this thing, and then we had it all prepped and ready to go. So let's get this thing in the car. And that basically about does it, guys. I'll let this run in the background with a couple things I did to finish up the week, unboxing my seat here and helping them with some other stuff. But I wanted to show you guys as much as I can in some form, and that being through these time lapses of just stuff going on down there. Obviously, I can't stop and show you guys everything and talk about it while I'm doing it, just because I am working on their time, and I have to make sure I'm making the most of that as much as I can. But taking some time afterwards to just really go through and show you guys some of this process, I think a lot of people are going to find interesting looking back on this whole experience. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll let this one finish up here and then we'll talk after. Alright guys, that is going to wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed watching, like I said, and I'm going to try to keep these going as much as I can throughout the whole process going down to BMR. I'm going to be down there more throughout the year. Along with just stuff in our shop, I'm going to try to show as much of you guys the footage you want to see. But if you don't want to see these videos, or you want to see more of these videos, or if you see anything in these videos you want to see more of, make sure to let me know down in the comments. This is all just kind of going off what I think is best, and without any kind of feedback, it can be tough to really tell what people want to see out there. So make sure to let me know if you want to see more content like this. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, just hit that subscribe button, follow button, whatever platform this may be on. Make sure to join our family as we try to just follow our racing dreams here. One last thing, if you haven't already, check out our new Eric Jr. Racing merch. I'm going to leave the link in the description to my website. You can check it out on there with their limited stock. We may do another order, but if you reach out to us on any of our social media pages, through our website, or just email us, you can get all that information on our social media platforms like I mentioned. We'd be happy to try to put an order together for you guys. So a lot of people already bought them. I can't thank you guys all enough. That seriously does support our team a lot, and we just trying to basically pursue every opportunity that comes our way, and so that definitely plays a part in it. Thank you all, seriously, from the bottom of my heart. But other than that, this is all I kind of got. So I can't express how excited I am to get this season started in this ARCA car with Bill McAnally Racing. I can't thank my sponsors, Valleyscapes, Key Property Services, Bridge City Concrete. I mean, everyone that's come in to help us, you know, Bill McAnally Racing, like I already mentioned, just my family for the sport, all the local friends, and it list goes on, and I just can't, I don't have the time to name everyone, but I wish I could. And I know there's a lot of you guys out there that have known the role you've played, and everyone watching these videos plays a role. So I just can't express how grateful I am for this opportunity, and I hope to make the most of it. But no matter what, hey, nobody can take it away from us. We're already doing it. So till next time, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here, but take it easy.